Welcome back to the show, everyone. It's January 9th, 2025, and we've got a lot to unpack today in the world of Forex. I'm your host, and I'm here to guide you through what happened today in the currency markets and what you can expect going into tomorrow. Whether you're a seasoned trader or just starting out, this episode is packed with insights you won't want to miss. Let's start with a quick overview of today's highlights. The US dollar index saw a modest pullback, dipping to 102.85 by the close. This move came as markets reacted to a softer-than-expected jobs report, signaling a potential slowdown in the US economy. While the labor market remains resilient overall, today's numbers sparked speculation that the Federal Reserve might hold off on any rate hikes in the near term. Over in Europe, the euro made some gains against the dollar, climbing to 1.0875. This was largely driven by hawkish comments from European Central Bank President Christine Lagarde, who reaffirmed the ECB's commitment to tackling inflation. Meanwhile, the British pound struggled, hovering around 1.2120 against the dollar, weighed down by weaker-than-expected GDP data out of the UK. In Asia, the Japanese yen strengthened to 132.40 against the dollar. This move was fueled by growing speculation that the Bank of Japan could soon adjust its ultra-loose monetary policy, especially with inflation picking up in the region. The commodity-linked currencies like the Australian dollar and Canadian dollar had mixed performances. The Aussie edged higher to 0.6730, buoyed by rising iron ore prices, while the loonie slipped to 1.3445 against the dollar, pressured by declining oil prices. Now, let's talk about what's on the economic calendar for tomorrow, January 10th. First up, we've got the US CPI data dropping at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. This is a big one, folks. Analysts are expecting headline inflation to come in at 3.5% year-over-year, down from 3.7% last month. A lower-than-expected reading could further weaken the dollar, while a surprise to the upside might reignite Fed rate hike bets. Across the Atlantic, the Eurozone will release its industrial production numbers. With recent PMI data showing signs of a manufacturing slowdown, this report will be closely scrutinized. A weaker print could cap the euro's recent gains. Over in Asia, keep an eye on the Chinese trade balance figures. With China's economy still grappling with a slow recovery, any signs of weaker exports or imports could weigh on the Australian dollar and New Zealand dollar, given their trade ties with China. The euro has been trading in a tight range recently, but today's breakout above 1.0850 could pave the way for further upside. Key resistance lies at 1.0900, while support can be found at 1.0800. If CPI data favors dollar weakness, we could see the pair testing new highs. The pound is stuck in a bearish channel, with resistance at 1.2150 and support at 1.2100. Tomorrow's CPI data and any updates on UK economic policy will be critical for determining the next move. The yen's strength today suggests we might see further downside for US dollar to Japanese yen. Immediate support is at 132.00, with resistance at 133.50. Any hints from the Bank of Japan about policy changes could amplify these moves. The Aussie is showing signs of resilience, with immediate resistance at 0.6750 and support at 0.6700. Traders should watch for updates on Chinese trade data, as this could be a major driver for the pair. Looking ahead to tomorrow, expect volatility to spike around the release of the US CPI data. If the inflation print comes in below expectations, we could see broad-based dollar weakness, benefiting pairs like euro to US dollar and Australian dollar to US dollar. On the flip side, a stronger-than-expected CPI figure might provide the dollar with some much-needed support. In Europe, keep an eye on any additional commentary from ECB officials. If they continue to sound hawkish, the euro could extend its gains. Meanwhile, the British pound might struggle unless we see some unexpectedly positive data from the UK. In Asia, watch for any updates from the Bank of Japan or Chinese economic indicators. Both have the potential to drive significant moves in the yen and Aussie. That wraps up today's episode. The Forex market is dynamic, and staying informed is your best weapon in navigating its twists and turns. As always, remember to manage your risk carefully and stay disciplined in your trading. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you tomorrow with another update. Happy trading!